Hey kids, Mark Miller here. Welcome. Glad you're with us. Let's jump right into it. Get back to where we were. Yesterday we were working on our CardMaker application. Got to see it over here. Let's just run it. We'll kind of refresh our memories and where we are, where we left off. And let's also get some Code Rush music going in here. All right, so here's what we've got. I can create decks. I can add cards to the deck. I can specify a card style like this. The card style is connected to, oops, here we go. I want to open another window I want to close. All right. Card style is connected to folders of assets. For example, this is the Infinite Stones card style right here. I added a placeholder to these assets here. And the placeholder just is an image that specifies the location, and it's right in the name of the image. Right in here. So I've got, for example, here, 58,78. That is that's the location of that. And the dimensions of that image, whatever its dimensions are, also specify the dimensions for the placeholder. And what that allows us to do is get this placeholder right in here behind it. And what I intend to do today is actually be able to load up the images for that placeholder. We've also got, let's bring up the card data folder, or rather the card data spreadsheet. These are the decks right here. Cards are here. Cards have got a deck ID connecting them to what deck they belong in. Fields are here. Fields have a card ID connecting them to the card. I'm just going to shrink down those indexer fields, index columns right there. And then I also added this layer text options, which allows me to set the place for the text. So here, for example, you've got Witchcraft/star.
Where are you? We need your help. Oh, run. Here, White House.
Janiscu7, welcome. Janiscu7 says, let's funk you up with some cyberpunk dragon humpers. So here I've got this path right here, Witchcraft/star. And that means for all of the Witchcraft styles right in here, we're going to have this same kind of angled positioning of the text. It also allows us to specify the text color and some other parameters that fit that text in the right position. So I've got Infinite Stones, has a text angle of nothing. I've got it almost white. It's a little bit transparent right there. And let's take a look at that right there. Go to Infinite Stones there, you can see right there. And so whatever I want to write here, this text goes in the plaque. Like that, and it's pretty cool. So next, I think I want to do, I guess there's two things to do today. Well, a couple things. I need to work on layers. So when I click on a layer, it selects one of the layers that we're stacking up. right? Remember, those layers are coming from the folder, and the Z order is in the name of the layer. So I've just put these out here like this. I want to be able to select one, and then I want to be able to modify that one by changing its contrast, its lightness, saturation, hue, its X offset or Y offset, vertical stretch, horizontal stretch, that sort of thing. We'll be able to modify those. And so we should probably talk about that. Let's bring up our spec for this. I think I'm going to create a new slide here. I'm going to call it layer modification. So we're talking about hue shift, sat, maybe just call adjust hue, sat, light, contrast, position, scale. That's what we want to do for each layer. Now the question is storage. How are we going to store this? And what I think I want to do is I think I want to do something like this. I want it to be layer name and then params that with non-default values. Like that. So something, and I'll give you an example in a second. And then semicolon, and then that repeats. Right there. Repeating as needed. Like that. Example might be, let's take a look at one of the layer names we've got here. Gems. So we'll take gems. Example, so it'll say gems, and then it'll say hue equals, and it'll be like a 220. And then maybe another one, veins, and then in here we might say lightness equals a -40, something like that. And maybe even contrast equals 150. So that's what we're talking about, turning it into a string. And so when I'm talking about storage, I'm talking about how do I store it in my spreadsheet right here. And pretty sure I got to store it here, right in this place. So we're going to have to add a new header here called layer mods, like that. And it'll just be a string that'll have that whole list. That's what I think I want to do. Now, when we activate a card and load the layer images, we need to apply the layer mods. Okay. When a layer modification changes, we need to store that internally. That inside the card, I think. The card holds the individual mods. And this is going to be maybe initially as, you know, a list of, I want to call them layer mod classes, I think. Layer mod instances. But the card class will have layer mod stir prop property with the getter that does the work. Of creating the string. That's what we're going to build first, I think. We also need, to some degree, we need layer. We need layer selection, which we might want to build first, because we definitely need to be able to select a layer. And when a new layer is selected, we need to set the data context for the appropriate controls. So let's look at what classes we have so far on this, because I've kind of forgotten here with regards to what we have here. These are layer text options. This is for setting up the text where we want to position the text, right there behind me. What else do we have with layer in it? Do we have anything else? Nope, nothing else it looks like. Hang on, is this Streamloots? Asked Super Maxi. Yes, what we're doing is we are creating an app to generate hundreds of unique images. And then we're going to upload those to Streamloots with the card details. Hi, Sick, I'm partnered with Streamloots. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I just kind of picked them out. I said, oh, let's do this. And Super Maxi says, that's cool. So yeah, we're kind of getting there. We're not cool yet, but we're going to be able to come in here. We've got these different layers. We've taken the artwork. I've taken the artwork from Streamloots and I've broken it up into pieces. So I'll be able to come in here and individually, like for example, color the gem, for example. And we don't have this working yet, but in the shared top layer adornments folder, I've got a bunch of different top layered adornments to, for example, stick on there if I want to do that. So I can pick some of these up here, choose a different bookmark, switch the colors of the pieces, so I can generate. Essentially, I've got about 900 cards I need to create. I built a bot that read the cards that were played on my stream and then read them out in chat. We're actually going to do that too. We are going to create our own bot because I also want to make it so when the cards are played, they come spinning out onto the surface and then slow down and stop. Just with the same kind of simulated, we're going to simulate the physics, I think, but the same kind of look as dealing a card out onto a table and having it spin out. And then we're also going to have it kind of shrink down. The cards in the game we're doing is it's for a different stream. It's for a stream out there called Dragon Humpers. I'll give you a link in the chat room right there. And you can follow us there to watch us eventually incorporate the cards into the game. But some of the cards will be holdable by the players. I went to Mark Miller's School of Dancing. I'm Mark Miller. So let's see. So the cards might be played immediately. They might show up in my hand. So I might have several cards here that I can play later, choose to play later. So that's kind of what's going on. You should definitely reach out to them then. They're pretty open with their API stuff. Well, cool. Because one of the things I need to figure out is I need to figure out how to upload these. I kind of think I can do it. The reason why is because I stumbled upon, Streamloots API, this right here, but I'm not a database guy and I've never really worked with these before. But I'm pretty sure one of these in here is going to allow me to hopefully upload images, and another one is going to hopefully allow me to upload the cards. Because I've got all the data here, the same data they have. I have that here, including the ability to do fields and things like this. So I need, hopefully we'll need to be able to figure that out. The guy I dealt with, his name is Nakin, and he was so helpful. We were originally going to try to sell the bot back to them, but then I kind of took off stream-wise and lost focus. I just had you recommended to me by Nick the first one, so I thought I'd pop in. Well, thanks for popping in, Super Maxi. Appreciate you hanging out with us. So anyway, this is what we're working on, and I want to, just so we're clear, where the goal of this is so that I can generate hundreds of these cards automatically. And by automatically, I mean it's going to go through the D&D rules. It's going to go through the D&D monsters, the D&D spells, the D&D potions, the D&D items, and then it's just going to start generating these. And based on those parameters, it's going to randomly pick some stuff. Oh, look who's here! Flame Creations, dive, duck, dodge, duck, and dive. Classic movie dodgeball. Thanks, Flame Creations, for coming in, for stopping by, hanging out. Yeah, so it's gonna replace the placeholder with the image for the spell or the image for the monster or whatever it is. We're gonna choose like the spell book for spells. We'll have something else for monsters, something else for weapons, and it's just gonna generate hundreds of unique looking cards so that I don't have to do all of that work. That's kind of what the purpose of this app is going to be. And it'll help us organize them and hopefully be able to also, we'll figure out how to upload them so I don't have to manually upload those 100 plus cards and then fill in the details up on Streamloot site. Overlay to your overlay, asks Flav Creations. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could say maybe if I understand your question correctly. And in case I don't, and if you're asking, yeah, no, I'll stop there. I don't want to, go too far if you're not asking me that question. Okay, so I want to be able to select a layer. Right now, notice it says selected layer name. It's not changing anything here. So we need to do that, and we need to set the data context. I think I want to focus on that first. That means Flame Creation says, "Hi, I'm new here." You're not new here, really? Are you asking what I'm doing? What are you doing, Flame Creations? Coder asks question, do the overlays and all this stuff like Fred's movement take a lot of CPU, GPU power for OBS to get streamed? Not really. Well, for simple to medium level stuff, I'd say not really. In this world though, there's a lot of stuff going on. And for example, I'll show you when things start to push the system. But I do have a high-end system. I should say that too. So let me bring up here. I'll bring up my Stream Deck so you can see what we have. This is for the D&D show. Oh, here comes Pudding. It's not time for your show, Pudding. Stop taking over my show, Pudding. It's the Pudding Show, people. Pudding. All right, so up here we've got a button that says weather. We also have buttons over here that select the background, what's going to go on here. So for example, I could pick, let's do, I don't know, let's do Nebula. So there's my Nebula. Of course, if I do Nebula, you can't see my Stream Deck button, so let's switch back over to that and just trust that I can set up my backgrounds. I can also come in here to weather, and I can select the weather for the show. So I can say, for example, light snow. So if I do light snow, what's going on is I've got a 1920 by 1080 front layer of snow, and there's a back layer, so you can actually see some snow disappear as it goes behind my head, while other snow is in front of me. Or I can pick for example, drizzle, right, just to get a little bit of drizzle coming in there, or more rain, or fog and rain. And now we've got several different layers. Here we've got 4 layers of video playing here. There's fog behind me, fog in front of me, rain in front of me, rain behind me. And if we combine this with other things like spell effects, for example, let me cast Chaos Bolt, level 5, with advantage. And here's what this looks like. And so now we've got full-on large-scale animations, right, on the stream, right? We're about to put the 3D layer is about to kick in too. Here it comes, and now you can see some stutter. If I turn off the weather effects, It should speed up. But now you can kind of get a sense of what's going on here. There's a fair amount of complexity. So I am kind of pushing my system. I'm pushing my system about as hard as I can. And I find that it starts to max out at about 5 to 6 layers of full screen video with transparency. Yeah? Hello? You want to, you have something to contribute to the show?
Yeah.
What do you think I should do with this code?
You should refactor it. It's buggy.
That was a trick question. There's no code on screen, honey.
No.
You're just here from my wallet. Here from my wallet again, aren't you?
You need a better wallet.
Pudding says, is this Karen's show?
Karen's show.
Yeah, okay, so let's close some stuff down. So with a decent machine, you can get a lot of this. But if you need to have the full screen 1920 by 1080, multiple layers with transparent video, that's going to start taxing the system. Oh, did we lose? We lost control of our, shoot. I'm not sure why that happens. We lost control of our bubbles. I think I've got remote control of the bubbles, but I don't have, they're not working for you guys, I think is what happens. And so we saw that break yesterday as well. Let's just verify that I have remote control of the bubbles. I do have remote control, but you guys do not. Ouch. That's not good. I think I'm going to, Fred, this is just Mark's wallet. Nothing to see here. Yeah. So everybody wants to do the bubbles, and the bubbles aren't working. I say we get them working again, kids. What do you say? Give me, it takes about a minute to shut everything down and restart it to get the bubbles working. That, at least we know, works. Let's shut this down. Let's shut this down. What else do I need to kill? Oh, right. I need to kill our D&D control app, which is right here for folks who haven't seen it yet. It's pretty over the top. But we don't actually use this. We're actually using Stream Deck to control the D&D game. Let's come back in. What else do I need to do? Restart, and restart, and I need to refresh our... And this also means you're going to get a second fanfare for folks who've already had fanfares, because I just shut it down and brought it back in. Okay. So now I think you guys have control at this point of... I think you have control of your thoughts. There you go. All right, so we'll run with that. I'll investigate later as to why that is, why we're losing that. Okay, so anyway, I don't know if any of you folks out there are experts at this kind of thing or have done this before, but I kind of need a way to remotely add cards to
Where are
decks.
you? We need your help. Oh, all right.
Get him, Genesco 7.
White House.
Get him, Yoda. All right, back to layer options, selecting the layer. All right, let's see if we can figure that out. So we've got inside here a list box somewhere.
Hello.
Guys, thanks so much. I muted myself and forgot to unmute. All right. Thanks for that, kids. Yeah, you got my voice back now. All right, so I want to find, I think I've got like a layers. I thought it was a list box in here. LB card layers. This is the one. LB card layers selection changed. So here's where I want to do something with this. I think what we need, I think we should start working on our layer options because it looks like we don't have these yet. And we'll start building these. So class layer options. Like that. Let's close the app down so we can start writing code without all these green squigglies. And we have a couple things in here. We have, I'm pretty sure, let's just double check this. Let's go into our imaging over here. Image utils, create image, here we go. I just want to look what the parameters are. So degrees to rotate, that's, these are all doubles we're putting in here. They're all doubles. I guess I'll just make them doubles. The angle is not. Well, because it's only 0, 90, 80, or 1, I'm sorry, 0, 90, 180, or 270. Are the bubbles still working? I didn't hear them come out. Did we break them again? No? Okay. I just didn't hear Genesis 7s. I heard rumor marks. Well, it got puddinfied. Maybe that came up and I wasn't paying attention. Okay. It's the colon. Oh, okay. The colon, I got it. That's right. I see it. Okay. So we're going to make these doubles. I'm going to just copy all of these. The layer options. So the layer options. Place a comma with a semicolon /n. Do that in the selection. Go. No. There we go. Huh. Lost it here. Okay, there we go. Them blazed colons. Yeah. Okay. So a layer option, actually, let's make this singular. Layer option. Quite get that like I wanted to, but there we go. All right, so now we got some properties. What you got? Oh, you got to put a colon there. Get that colon after my name, Janisku7, for it to work. Want to shout out, you need a colon. Oh, Blazer Mr. Magoo's out there. Oh, Blazer Mr. Magoo. How do I do that? I thought there was a level up command.
Level up.
There, got it. Now at level 2.
Level up. Level up.
All right, go for it, Blazer Mr. Magoo. Mr. Magoo. This stream has even gotten more wild and crazy since I last saw it. Yeah, it's a little crazy, a little wild. Here we go. Let's write some code, shall we? What is most Mr. Magoo thing that Fred can do? Fred, you got any ideas on that? Okay. All right, let's just get these properties in here. To be honest, I don't have a real clear image of where we're going. But I'm just kind of feeling it. I feel like I'm sculpting. I feel like I just took a bunch of clay and threw it down. So we've got layer option here. And I think we're going to need a name in here as well. So we'll just say the name of the layer. That's the layer name. So those are my layer options, or maybe my layer details. Let's call them layer details, like that. Let's give them default values for these. Hue shift equal to 0. Saturation adjust equal to 0. Well, I guess it's fair to say lightness adjust equal to 0. Contrast is equal to 0. Scale is equal to 1. We know what Mark is doing. Flame creation, what would you use to make a Twitch extension with C#? Well, you know, that's the thing, Flame Creations. I really only have experience doing the bots, which are essentially overlays that connect to other things using SignalR and stuff like that. I have not had any success creating a Twitch extension. And I don't, to be fair, Flame Creations, I really don't understand. What would you use to make a Twitch extension with C#? Well, I know that you've got the Twitch developer kit. I certainly would make a stab at that, but I had problems with that getting that to work, and so I never really got beyond that. Angles equal to 0. Sometimes, even though I know it's going to initialize to 0, if it's important initialization, I'll write it down anyway, like I'm doing here. Okay, so there's my layer details. Now, somewhere we need an active layer that I think is going to hold all of these layer details. Active layer details, something like that. Now, let's see what's happening when we load a new style. So when we load a new style, that's when we pick a style, it goes in, and this happens when we activate a card as well that has a particular style. We go in, we delete all images. This is in the current canvas. Let's do this. Let's make this a parameter. Instead, call it canvas. I think that helps explain the method more. If I say delete all images and pass in canvas layers to it. Flame Christian says I'm less hopeful now. We must prove that Flame Creations have more hope on its sleeves. Okay, so we delete all the images. We then go through all of the PNG files that we find in that path, and we create a new card image layer. What's in there? Okay, this is what's needed to position the image on screen. It's got an X and a Y. Oh, but it is coming in here. So this is kind of has a UI kind of aspect to it. I think what I want to do instead is I want to add the class we just created.
Got it!
Oh, Flame Creation says, I'm trying to figure out a potential solution to a problem I'm foreseeing. I want players in a Twitch integrated game to have a state switching between defensive, balanced, offensive, but I don't necessarily want it based on chat commands. Yes, I kind of see what you're saying. And so the question is, how do you do that? Twitch extension. Hey, last man. Welcome. Yeah, how do you do that? I've been thinking similar kinds of things. Because over here, we go, you know, you want to fly a drone over here, and things get crazy, right? Look at all the chat commands it takes to fly the drone around. I think Twitch used to have other secondary rooms that you could open up, but I think they stopped that. So, but I was thinking, well, you could take folks to another room and they could control it, and you could then, so, you know, enter that room. Your bot can enter that room and listen to messages in the room. I never worked on that code here, so I don't have a great solution for you, Flame Creations. Nothing I've done before. But I think we might go down that path later in this year. I could see us doing that. So I want to get layer details. Show me your cards of great, Lassamat. All right. Genesis 27's figured out how to get the messages up. So I think what I want to do here is I want to create a new property of this type, layer details. This. That's what I want to do. So the X and Y, who's messing with X and Y? Okay, that's cool. Because in layer details, what did I have here? Didn't I have a, I have two more that I didn't do. We're going to call this offset X and Y, and those are going to both be set to 0. So I need the offset. Cool. Now I've got layer details. I'm going to set that equal to new. Layer details. Good. So I've created my card image layer. Maybe I don't want to do this as new. Hold on, I have a different idea. So in the card layer manager, I've got this card layers piece. Here's where I add them. Select layer by index. Where's my... Oh, sort layer by index. Sorry. It's cool coming here after a while and seeing all the new things. Last minute, if you were here earlier, you could have Saz my wolf and had double effect because Mark reset the bot thing, and I think, and we all go free seconds. Yeah, everybody got a second. Everybody who had already had a opening fanfare got a second one because I reset the bot. How about the switch overlay things where I can click on stuff? Does that work? Yeah. I think that's kind of what you have to do. Is it's a Twitch overlay. That's one of the options. Flame Creation says, I'm blind, by the way, waiting on new glasses. Okay, Flame Creations. Okay. So let's see. My card layer manager is here. Card layers, here's my add call. Let's go look at what's coming in here. Here's where we create a new image layer. Now at this point, we want to get the details. And I think I want something like this. I want to say card image layer dot details equals, and I want to say active card, because I'm going to have the card hold these, active card dot get layer details and I want to pass in the name. Do I have the layer name? That's what I want to do. That's important. Okay. Let's go start to build this. Yeah, we're starting putting everything in at once. It seems all the pieces we're putting in at once here. Yeah, Flame Creations. Apologies for not knowing anything. I've spent a little bit of time exploring it, and it did not have success. The Twitch developer kit did not work on my machine. It was having some weird stuff going on, and I even reached out for help on it, and folks who didn't have problems with it were confused as to why I was having problems. So I ended up taking different routes. Yeah, you need to be brave, jump in and figure it out sometimes. I agree with that. So I would do that. I would do Stream Developer Kit. The Twitch Development Kit. Download that and follow the initial works on my machine. Check it out. I didn't know we have emojis are coming in. That's cool. We have emoji support. Okay, get layer details. And now let's look at card and what we're going to do with card to get that data in here. So over here in card, I've added a layer mods property. Let's declare that now. Over here in cards. Well, let's move layer details to its own file. Okay, layer mods. So property of type string, layer mods is looking like that. And I think we need to expand the getter here, and I think we need something that says, hey, if layer mods is equal to null, then we want to build this up to do create layer mod string. I think we need a method called invalidate layer mods. I'm sensing we're going to need this. I don't know where I'm calling this from yet, but I think we need it. Then we'll say, let's do this. Instead of having this to do here, we're going to say layer mods is equal to create layer mods. Like that. So it likes emojis and not emotes. Yeah, that's going to take some extra code to get support for emotes. I'm pretty sure we can do it, but it's going to take a little bit extra support. Also word wrapping, things like that. Okay, so to create it now, wait, what's going on here? When the setter, okay, layer mods is equal to value, then from here, I want to say create layer details, I think is what I want to do. Maybe I should worry about just this on the way in. Part of my problem is I've got a UI connection to some data. And I'm not exactly sure yet. I haven't quite, it's got a clear picture. You look forward to a RAR from Fred one day, says Flame Creations. All right. It's adding to my to-do list up here. So we're going to get this string coming in, just to remind you where we are. For anybody who's joined in a little bit late, we're looking at a string like this, where it's going to have the layer name and some modifications to it, if there are any. We have the layer details. I am thinking it's going to be an array of layer details. That's what I think it's going to be. I think I'm going to create a new class. Call it all layer details, like this. It's going to have a property of type layer details. Screech Rat's here. Coming in ever so subtly. How you doing, Screech Rat? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Okay, layer details. You'd never know. Yeah, I had to call it out. Got a special Cantina Rad today. We did. I think I'm just gonna call it layer details. Then I want to. I also want to have a. I just want to. Excuse me. I just want to. I want to hide some of the aspects of working with the layer details. So I've created this class called all layer details. I think we're going to create a method called add and maybe one called remove or clear. We can really just add. Is this Blazer Mr. Magoo, that Blaze guy with purple sign, or was it that SQL guy? I want to say add like this. Oops. Oh, shoot. That's not quite what I wanted. I wanted a property that was a list of layer details. And I think I wanted it to be auto-implemented. All right, layer details, details. I'm going to call this all layers. Okay, and then we're going to set this equal to new list. Good. Then I'm going to come down in here and I'm going to say layer details, details.add, layer details like that. So we're just hiding this a little bit. All layers is here. Then I want to say, I think I want a method that returns the layer details, which is going to be a layer details. Call it get. Give it a name, layer name, and then we're going to say return layer details dot. Sorry, not layer details. Details. The Pellerino totally tried not to laugh. Wait, what? You eat viewers when I'm not watching, Fred. Okay, don't eat viewers. Don't do that. We want to do first or default. And x name equals layer name, like that. Okay, just to make it a little easier to use. Okay, so there's my all layers. So now my card's going to get that all layers. Okay, layer mods, by the way, is a column in the spreadsheet. So we're going to mark it with the column attribute. That means it'll read and write from that spreadsheet column right here, whatever's in this space. We also need to have a property, I think, or no, a local, maybe a field. Yeah, I think it's just a field. Flavor creations and flavor creations must be a yummy viewer. Oh yeah. Fred? Fred? No. Fred? No. No, Fred. You cannot do that to Flavor Creations. I know it's disappointing. Okay. I have no idea what he's... You just pay attention to the code. Thank you. All right. All right, so let's see. Okay, we want to have, we've got this all layers thing out here. I think I can make this private, a private field of this type. So let's do that. I'll call it all layers, I guess. Fine, that's what I'll do. And now in this point, we're going to create it. Create layer details. We need to declare that, and we're going to put it right about there. And so now we have this layer mods string. And we're going to say, wait, what am I calling it? Details? What did I call it? All layers, sorry. Okay. All layers dot. And I need a clear in here too. Okay, so details dot clear. All layers clear. If I actually want this to be a little more broad encompassing. If we're null or white space, then there's no details in the layers. I just thought of another problem. Okay, we'll get there. We'll fix it. We'll get it. Okay, now at this point, I want to say layer mods. I want to do a split on this. First of all, on the looks like I've got override on. I want to split on semicolons first. And now I want to do for each on that. For each part in there, I want to say add layer detail part. Like that. All right, so let's go do that. Your improv skills are beastly, master. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. All right, add layer detail. Here comes the part. The part's going to have pieces that are separated from by commas. So just to remind you, we're looking at a spec that's going to look like this. So I'm looking for something like this and that. That's what I'm looking for. So we're now separating by commas to get the individual properties. So we'll call this assignments. Like that. So we'll split. Maybe I'll do a dot trim here. Like that. Do I need to? I really don't need to here. It's not really that big of a deal. Oh, we need to get the name off of this, though. Yeah, this has become Chat Talk through Fred Day. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I actually think it's really fun. So, okay. We need to get the first name. Is what we need to do. So let's figure out that name. We're going to say we're going to do this dot index of, and we're going to find that open paren like that. Let's declare that open paren. Why do they all use Fred, not me? I love that we got the emojis here working. Open paren position is equal to that. If open paren position is greater than 0, or maybe we'll say if it's less than 0, then get out of here. Actually, if it's less than 1, you need to have at least something over to the left of it. Hold on, I'm in the wrong place. I just realized. Add layer detail part. I need to come in here and say, let's get the, let's rename this to be the layer detail, like that. Let's do this. Let's do that, just so we can get out of here. We can see it if we're debugging and going through it. So now we've got a greater than 1 position for the open paren, and I want to get the layer name here. We're going to say that's equal to layer detail dot substring 0, comma, open paren position. Okay, and then we're going to say layer detail is equal to layer detail dot substring of open paren position, I think +1, like that. And then we're going to do a dot trim, and I want to take away I think I want to do a regular dot trim here first, get all the spaces off of that thing, then trim the last final one. So now these are going to be called, actually let's just create a new string here, call this layer parameters, like that. Now we get to the assignments down here. And we have the layer name, and we're going to do a for each down here for each assignment, and we're going to say add layer assignment, like that. And we're going to pass in assignment, and we're going to pass in the layer. We need to get the layer from the layer name. So now I want to say something to the effect of all layers dot, shoot, what did I call it? All layers dot get layer name. Oh, look who's here. Hey, Rory.
Hello.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm back on the internet. Well, to be fair, I'm back at work, which means there's a better internet connection. Hence, all the things are working. Yes, lockdown 2 is over for the moment, at least in
Flavors and flavor.
UK. So.
By the time someone came to save me, there's no argument there, kids. Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody, how you doing? Glad you're with us. Rory's here to save the day. When we first started watching, I thought Rory was Fred. Yeah, I get that. It's our savior, Rory. All right, guys, you don't have to lay it on too thick. All right, let's get back into it. I don't know if you.
What are we working on? Last time I saw you, you were building a card system. For giving of cards or allowing people in the chat room to purchase cards in order to interact on a sort of a higher level or better level with the Dragon Hunters Twitch stream. Yeah,
that's what we're doing, and we are right now in the thick of it. We are working on layers. As it's Rory, can I roar now? Sure, you can do that. We're in the thick of it. We are getting the layers to actually work. The layers are complex because there are layer options for each individual image that we're stacking up, and sometimes there may be nothing there, and that might be the case when we first load it up, and we're going to say, well, let's move this layer a bit to the side, or let's adjust its contrast a bit, or let's shift its hue, or make it brighter or darker, that sort of thing. So we're basically creating an image editor, like a very dedicated image editor to some degree. But we want to do this in a way where it's not a lot of code, and we don't feel later like we did the wrong thing and we have to refactor the code later. So that's what we need to kind of do. So I'm coming in here, I'm parsing the string. So the string is going to be, we're going to store the layer mods in this kind of a format where I have property name, value, those separated by commas if there's multiples, put that in parens, and on the left of the paren we have the layer name right there.
So this is all the visual aspects essentially of the layers.
It's all the visual modifications. That is going to go, in terms of storage, that's going to go in this column right here, layer mods. Okay? I've created a property called layer mods already. String property.
And because of the attribute, that'll be something loaded directly from that Google Sheet into that.
Yes, exactly. So when it's loaded in the setter, we've got a setter guard clause here. And then if it's different from what we've got, we're going to set it. Then we're going to call create layer details. Create layer details is going to take that layer mod string. I think I want to call this layer mod stir like that. All right. It's going to take that and split it. Okay. Into parts. It's going to go through the parts. What? You don't get a raise? You don't get paid enough for this. Who's your boss? It's me. That's right. I determine how much money you make. Okay? Don't be mad. It's going to be okay. All right. Well, you got to figure out something to do with your life, Fred. You better make some plans. But you stay on the show, Fred. Yeah, but I'm still got... Oh, there we go. I just reconnected the stream. The stream disconnected and just kicked back in.
Okay, so it wasn't me.
Okay. It was so funny. I was I insulted you and you were dead quiet. And I don't remember it was a joke insult, but you were so quiet. And I was like, oh no, I've lost Roy forever.
I was like, I came in here, I've got a great internet connection. Hang on, where's it gone?
No, that was
gone.
me.
Oh, is this me?
I went to 0 over there. I don't know what happened, but something happened.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we're back. This is good.
Yeah, so we're going to split this right here using the semicolon into parts. We're going to call add layer detail for each of those parts. So splitting at the semicolon is going to get us the breaks between the different layers.
So now we have things followed by parentheses with specifics in.
Right, so add layer detail in there, comes in there. We're going to grab that first paren. If it's less than 1, then we're out. Okay, we got to get at least a layer name for this thing. We get the name right there. I think this is right. We're going to have to step through it to check. Might as well set a breakpoint here. Layer parameters, layer detail substring. Oh yeah, this is going to give me the list of what's inside. So I'm expecting that code to get me from here to here. Whoops, I'm sorry.
Oh, hope not.
From there to there.
That'll work, yeah.
Right, or there to there. That's what it's going to do. Okay?
Yep.
Then we're going to split by commas to get the individual assignments. Then we're going to say add layer assignment, but we need to get the layer. This call is what I had just written here when I think you came in. So we'll say there the layer like that. And so now we've got the layer and we've got to add layer assign. This should be add layer assignment. And we want to pass in layer like that.
Okay.
Or maybe better, that. Easier to read, I think.
That's a bit clearer perhaps, yeah.
Okay, layer.add assignment. Cool. Let's go do that. Declare that method, add assignment. Let's grab that equals position. I feel like I want, you know what I want? I think I'm going to write this right now. Whoops. Equals position. If equals position. Well, I do have, hold on. I do have functions. We're just out, and I think, tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Just making cards to be awesome. By the way, kids, this is not scalable at all. Not scalable. We're going to, if things could move up, you'll have to turn my attention to scalability. Ugh. Don't make me do that. What I'm saying is, I'm not asking you to do this less. I'm asking you to not make this show popular. Kids. I can't handle that. I can't handle that. All right.
It's a very popular feature.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get equal position. Now at this point, if I know there's an equals in it, I can say property name is equal to assignment dot everything before. Why don't I see everything before? It's in.
Using that namespace.
Yeah, I think it's in D&D utils. Is that right? Do I not have... I don't have a reference in D&D utils from here. I guess I can add one. What's in D&D core? Like that. I think it's safe to add one. I don't think it's going to, bring things down.
Okay.
And do I now have... So it's just D&D core, like that. And then down here, is that enough? Everything before. Okay, cool.
Nice.
So I'm going to say, give me everything before. That's my property name.
Yep.
And then I'm going to say value is equal to everything after. And let's trim it. Well, it looks like these are looking for strings, not...
Just to be clear, these assignments, they can be... I'm looking at the properties above, things like offset X and Y contrast, stuff like that. They are going to individually affect specific parts of that. So it's not particular... Well, I don't know. Is it important the order in which these assignments get applied in any way?
No. No,
Okay.
it's not really. The order is going to be... Well, the decision of the order in which these are applied is going to happen. It happens outside of our control. These are all parameters that are passed down to a function in here. We wrote a long time ago called create image. We did this for the dungeon, the D&D map application we were writing.
Oh yeah.
Right, and so this does all the adjustment, including contrast, which is the sweet thing I remember we figured out how to adjust contrast. And so I really like the results of that. Okay, so now I've got both of these, and now I'm going to say assign value. I'm going to create a new method and call it. Put in property name. We want to trim this too. Like that. Assign value, property name, value. Like that.
Yep.
All right. Clear method. There it is right there. And we essentially have to find the property name. Now, I don't know if I want to use reflection or not. Reflection, advantage of reflection is it's scalable, but I think I got everything I need. And I mean, it's scalable without any code changes, right? I can add more properties and it just continues to work, which I kind of don't mind. Disadvantage is a little bit slow, but this is in UI time, which doesn't matter. I think it's reflection. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I just got to remind myself. And I think it's system.reflection. And I need this type dot, no wait, what is it? Is it type of? I know I feel like I should know this, but there we go. Okay. Get type info. We want to say get properties, I think. Get properties. And the binding flags. Binding flags dot public. I wonder if I can do this. Nope, it does it as a comma. What if I did that? Okay, what if I did that? All right, binding flags dot instance. That might be all I need, actually. Public instance.
Okay, so you got a reference to the property itself.
Yeah, I think that's what I
want
want
to
to do.
scroll just a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Code's directly behind you.
Thank you.
There we go.
He's awesome. All right, those are my properties. Then I want to, well, if I'm going to do this, I really want to do this. I want to do it once instead of, oh shoot, I can't. I have to do this each time. Dang, dang, dang. I guess I could make this a static piece here. Where I do something like this. If properties is null, then I want to initialize it there like that. Yeah. Okay, like that. I think that's what I'm going to do. And Good.
Can you easily get the property out of that by its name?
Yeah, I'm
What's the
pretty sure.
return? Okay.
Pretty sure I can. I could do like an FOD here like this, like that. Name equals property name,
Okay.
like that. Call it prop info, like that. I might consider doing a case insensitive match here. Whoops. String dot compare A and B. True. Ignore for case. String compare is equal to 0, I think is what I'm looking for there. I think that's true. Okay. Then I'm going to say if we don't get anything there, then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say return, but I'm also going to do system diagnostics debugger break. Hold my breath every time that guy comes in here. Deepwater. How you doing, buddy? Yay, diving. Okay, that's Deepwater's fanfare. That's the Titanic of fanfares, Rory. It's a 4-hour long fanfare.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I got my prop info. I think I should be able to come in here. Yeah, it's more code, but all right. So set value. The object is going to be this. The value. Well, we need to figure out what the value is, don't we?
Just so you know, Mark, you have not yet set the properties to a static. I think that was your intention before.
Oh, thanks.
Cool.
That's super helpful. I'm glad you did that. Glad you said that. Yeah. I'm going to go to Google Helper. I got some stuff going, some code down here that I want to go look at. It's just where I wanted to be, right here. This converts a string to a particular value.
Gotcha.
Is what this does.
Yeah.
I kind of want something like this.
So this is based on our preconceived knowledge that a particular value was intended not to be a string, but a decimal or a date or something similar.
Yeah, so what I want to do is I want a method that returns an object here. And it's going to be get value. And this is going to be a value string passed in, like this. And I'm going to take that code that we had, paste this in here, and we'll pass in a property info as well. Diving deep water, so welcome to Deep Coast of Cards, Deepwater. What's going on here? Nautical paths. All right, cool. Let's come in here. Prop info. Let's rename this to that for a second, and then rename it back. Okay, there we go. That's just a quick way to get all those renames going. The value is the value stir right here. So we'll rename this to value stir, then I'm going to delete this line. There we go. All right, next.
That did not appear to rename correctly.
I think it did.
A couple of instances are still left. Is that not what you were?
No, I was renaming something else. I haven't worked on
Okay.
instance yet. instance is going to be become this.
Okay, yep, that makes sense.
Well, actually, I don't need the set values, actually. I don't need the set values.
That's true.
I'm just going to say return int value there. Then I'm going to return decimal value right here. It's going to be return double value. I'm going to put the break there, and I'll put the break there. So in case I delete those, we'll take care of that. String, we're just going to say a return value string. Like that. Okay.
That's good.
Boolean. New value. We'll just do this.
And I'm guessing that the compare value of x just represents a check mark in what would otherwise have been described as a Boolean field within those sheets. Just in case anybody was going, how is x true?
Yeah,
you know.
it's a check mark. No, I appreciate you saying that. Okay, there's my default right there. I think, why is this underlined still? Where's the code path that fails to return the value? Oh, we're not doing a value, returning a value here. I see. Okay, so we don't maybe need a default. Then we'll just take that out and we'll put this here like that. So we've got a return, return, return. We got a couple breaks in here if we have any parsing errors. There we go. So cool. There's get value.
Looking good, yeah.
Now we want to call get value. Is it not seeing? I'm trying to figure this out right here. Sign value, property static. It's not seeing it. Do I have to include the layer, the class name in front for static? I thought I didn't have to if I was inside the class. Is that it?
Is it not public as well at that point?
It's
or
not
needing
public,
to be public?
but I'm in the same class.
Well, that's true.
What's my problem here? Inaccessible due to its protection level. Okay, interesting. I did not know that private static pieces could not be seen by private methods.
Which is weird, yeah.
Okay.
Particularly when you consider that you can see private items even if you're not the same instance. It's like kind of a lot of people don't notice that either.
Yeah.
But it seems almost, strange but in the opposite direction.
All right, so now we're going to call set value this, and we're going to call get value. Isn't that what I had? Get value. And no suggestions. Why doesn't it see get value? Let's pass in the property.
Oh, have you No. That's not
Oh, no,
true.
wait. No, I
Have
have.
you closed out the class?
I have. That's exactly what happened. That's why we have these weird errors. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? Okay. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing about the same time you were, but, well, I thought I was.
I wasn't sure because my C# syntax is not so hot. I wondered whether there's something else that we had opened up top there that could have...
That was it, Rory. You totally nailed it. Okay. So now I've got a sign value. We're using reflection, so we should be able to support a whole bunch of different types. This get value, I kind of feel like...
Has it got the wrong name?
Well...
Because I wonder if you read it just as it is, it says you're getting the value from the property, but you're not. You're translating the value on the basis of something that has been derived from the property.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or parsing, perhaps.
Which should at the very least be get convert value, I think. convert value, convert string value, string value to native type, I think. Like that. Or to native. I don't know if it's not really a type. It's a.
You could go to property type, or I don't know.
Convert str value to native. Something like that. Impressed we are fully. Okay. The big problem with this is it doesn't belong here. That's the big problem here.
It's a nice generic facility that could be of use to many places.
Yeah. I'm going to create a static class here called reflection extensions. And we'll pop this in here.
So where did the original get value come from? Because this is, well, it was more of a set value, wasn't it, that we established before? Would it not go back alongside that?
I'm sorry, Roy, can you ask the question again?
You copied this code from elsewhere in the solution where it was doing similar stuff. It was setting a value on the basis of similar determination.
Yeah.
I wondered, should it sit alongside that, or should that sit alongside this, I guess is the other way of looking at it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, this is going a little further. It's calling set value, and I didn't want to go in and mess with this. Putting a saying, throwing out new question over here. Says, hey, would you guys say that reflection is a good thing to use when developing stuff?
Got to be careful. It depends on your situation. It can be and is considered quite slow in some situations. It really helps with extensibility. We're going to be able to add things and for the system to discover them just because they happen to have the right name, and we've done that in other places. But if you try and do this in a really tight loop, apparently it's quite slow, so you can get yourself into trouble that way.
Yeah. So we were weighing the decision about whether to use it or not based on when we were going to need it. Oops, I didn't want the test to run. All right, I guess it's just going to run the test. I don't care. Okay, so I'm putting this over here. We've got it now as a, in this reflection, it's a an extension method now. We don't need this. Okay. Thank you.
The other thing to think about is it can be considered fragile in some cases, because if you're going to go looking for a class on the basis of external data that names that class, and you now go and rename that class, well, your external data doesn't know that you've done that. So you can accidentally break things if you have sort of these loose or weak connections between them. So you've got to be a little careful. But equally, there are ways around some of that. I guess it depends what the limitations of your system are.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. We're calling set to value. I've made convert string value to native an extension method on property info.
Okay.
And so, well, I think we're good. I don't always use reflection, but when I do, I cache the result. Nice.
Nice.
I like that, Fred. He's got a taco. If Triple B Bald Bearded Builder shows up, somebody should get that taco emoji going out there.
Mark, looking at the way you've written that there, I wonder if there isn't another logical thing you could do, which is set property from string, which would effectively encompass the line you've got there now.
Oh, I like it. That's a good idea. I love it. Look who's here. Look out, Fred. He's right behind you, Fred. Look behind you. He's right there.
Behind you.
Don't want to talk about it? Who's number one, Fred? Is Coding Gorilla number one? Who's number one? You're number one? Fred doesn't know. All right, let's do the whole thing. We want to create something now that says propinfo.setValue from string.
Yeah, I think so.
I like it. Way better. That's why Rory's here. All right, kids. So we wanted to create this as an extension method. I don't know. It's going to maybe look something like this. And then it's going to look like that. It's not returning an object. Cody Gorilla is here. Here's the tacos for you. Hold on. Sorry, TV is what I want for void. Set value from string. And what's my problem here? Oh, because I've already got that. I don't need that. Oh no, I need the instance. Shoot.
So that's just a... Oh.
No worries. I need the instance. And so this is going to be the instance.
Right, yes.
Okay. All right, set value from string. So we're going to say this, comma value. Okay?
Yeah.
I like that. That's really good. All right, so backing our way out of this, we've got assign value. That's going to happen for each assignment. You've got add assignment. That's going to happen for every comma separated assignment that we've got.
Yep.
It's funny, we're building the parser first, but maybe we should have approached this the other way and stored the data out. But, you know, because we can't really test this till we put some data in here.
True.
I think I'm going to put some data in and we'll step through it. That's what I think we'll do. In fact, let's do this now. Let's come in here. Let's get our, let's get this guy. And just throw that in and see what happens with it. Okay, so that's in there. That's going to be for the first card, which is called Cast Blight. Okay, so let's run it and see what we get. Do we have a build yet? Let's see if we can build. Nope. Semicolon. Oops. Okay. Build. Is there anything else? Okay, not all code paths are returning the value. Get layer details. Active card. Get layer details. There's the layer name. Those are my details. Okay. So I think what we do here, we need to create one if it does not exist. This is code I started writing in like about an hour ago. Layer mods, create layer details. So these are in all layers. So I think what we need is this. All layers dot get layer name. And we need to throw that in a local variable. And if that's null, then we want to create it. And so I think we need to say all layers dot add. And we need to create a new layer details. And I want to set the name property of that equal to layer name. All right, cool with that?
Yep.
And then, well, since I know I'm creating this anyway, I might as well save myself a moment here and just say, I could just call it layer details. Like that. Get rid of that. Add it. And then I'm now going to return it. So there's my get layer details. That's going to set it here. Now I'm not setting, I still need to, this is inside my main window right here. So I still need to set the data context correctly. Haven't done that yet. We're just going to run it though and see if the parsing works. All right, here we go. Marcus voice program is out there with us. What do we got? All layers is not initialized. And we're only clearing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to kill the app and I'm going to build it here. I think. Yeah. Okay. I need a breakpoint here too. Okay, let's run it. Okay, here we go. Add layer detail. Gems, hue, 220.
Good so far.
Yeah, in fact, I think what's cool is we've already made it past this point right here.
Indeed.
Where there you can see the whole thing. Okay, so let's keep going over here. There's our open paren position. Layer name is equal to gems. That's correctly got that.
Yep.
I'm going to add a dot trim here. In case somebody throws a paren. I mean a space before the paren. I want to be tolerant of that. Got a null there. The layer doesn't exist. Is that going to be problematic? It is totally problematic. All layers.get. Let's come back up here. I think if somebody calls get on me, I'm going to create me. Is what I'm going to do. Let's just go in here and double check. I think the code I added here. All right, let's do that. Then we're going to come in here, introduce local. And we're going to call this layer details. And we say, hey, if it's null, it's equal to new. Then we're going to call add on it, and then we're going to return layer details. Cool. Okay. So here we go. It's null. Created a new one. Sweet. That's what we want. All right, so we got our layer. The layer parameters. We've got the parameters. The assignments. We've got the assignment, so it's just one. I'm calling add assignment. Where's my exception thrown? What is it? Could not load file or assembly. I think this is a versioning problem here. Is what I think it is. Yeah, it's got the bad image. Yeah. I think the D&D core. Well, wait, does that make sense? It's it could be the build target. Let's see if we can find that in here.
Yeah, Coding Gorilla's agreeing it's an x86 versus 64.
64 there. Probably this is not 64. Isn't that crazy that 64 is better, way better than 86? All right, let's try it again. Hey, thanks for that, Coding Gorilla. Coding Gorilla is the best. All right.
That's good.
All right, so here we go. We're down in add assignment, I think. Maybe. Let's run. Okay, so here we are. Hue is equal to 220. Property is hue. Value is 220. Assign value. If they're null, we're going to get it. Then we're going to say property info. Uh-oh. I said ignore case. Hue. The properties. Oh, it's hue shift.
Hue shift.
So I want them short. I want them meaningful here, but short in the spreadsheet. I think I'm going to do this. Let me kill it a second. I'm going to do this. I'm going to just change this to hue. Let me make sure there's...
I was going to say, there's a few ways around this, but it depends how off-piste you want to go.
Yeah, no, there are. I was thinking, for a moment, let's do attributes. I was going to solve it with attributes. But because it's just a small...
Aliases for the...
What'd you say?
Just in order to declare aliases for a column.
So I'm going to make it hue satin light, and that's what I'm going to do here. Everything else is okay the way it is. Okay, so start, run one more time. What's the data look like here? Hue. This has got to change to light, not lightness, like that. Okay. I don't know if I was fast enough. I'm so far off piste, I have sand in my toes. I'm sad Murky didn't read my answer. What? What's your answer? What'd I miss? Damn, memes just don't have the same ring to it. What's your answer?
Because the 60s were better than the 80s. This was your 64 versus 86.
Oh, 'cause the 60s were better than the 80s. Just kidding. Everyone knows the 80s were better. Okay, gotcha. All right. All right, so here we are. Q. Get in here. Properties. He's now got a property. Cool. And now we're going to call set value from string. We're going to jump in here, jump in there, grab it, system.double, try to parse it. Guess what? We did it. 220. I'm feeling good about that. Okay.
That's pretty good.
And we got some debugger breaks in there and things like that. I think we're going to just run it. Oh, shoot. The lightness, I didn't change it in time. This time, we're going to get up here. Yeah, there we are right there. I'm just going to run it because we'll get that. We'll correct that for next time. Okay, good. That is...
Contrast has got a prefix space in that incoming value. Is that going to be a problem? Did we trim?
We're trimming right there. Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. All right, that's good. Next, we need to... We got a to-do.
Okay.
That I put out here, which is to set the... set the data context correctly. So we've got our details. That's our selected details. Well, wait. No, the data context doesn't go here. It goes after we select the layer. So here we go. Item source is equal to card layers. But now what we want to do is say card layers dot selected. I have an index. Item is equal to card layer manager dot details. Wait. Card layer manager dot card layers of 0. Like that. That's the selected item. Then I want to make sure, I want to say, hey, look, if this dot count is greater than 0, then we can do that. Then we have this selection changed up here, which should fire. And here's where we want to do set the data context for the active layer. Now, the active layer is, if I'm understanding everything I wrote correctly, the active layer is stored in the card. So when we say card get layer details passing in that name, I'm pretty sure we're going to build that new one if it doesn't exist. Okay? Yeah. We're going to go in there and build it. We're going to say, hey, if it's null, we're creating it. So this card is going to own those layer details. Okay? That means any changes to them are fine. The only thing is, are we going to mark it as changed? We don't have a way to bubble up the changes yet. It doesn't implement iNotify property changed. And I think we're going to have to implement that. So let's kind of go figure out where we want to at least put a to-do for that. I'll throw it here as well. For the layers Well, it's over here in card for all layers in card. Well, let's put it here, rather. Okay. I notify property changed. Do I have it on the clipboard? There we go. I'm going to type that in again. All right, that gives us an event. Property changed. Layer details. I think we need layer details to do the same. Which means I kind of need to come back in here. See you later, Blazer, Mr. Magoo. Let's do that. Let's implement the interface. Let's create a on property changed method. Changed. And we're going to pass in string, property name. We set it equal to this. And we need an attribute here. Caller member name, I think it is.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Okay. There. And now what we want to do is trigger our event. Is it invoke? Begin invoke, it's just invoke, I think. We pass in this. New property changed event args, property name. Okay. Now that we've done this, we're going to have to come in here. We have to redefine all these with backing stroke. The fastest way to do this, though, is to just simply cut that to the clipboard, come in here and type in PS. CodeRush is going to see that it implements I notify property change is going to do this for me, build that. So now
That's
just
cool.
cut that right there. I'm going to type in PI for property of type integer. I thought I copied it to the clipboard, but not. I'll just type in angle. There it is right there. Cut this to the clipboard. Type in PD for property of type double. Do the same thing for SAT down here. PD. Do that. Light. Yeah, we need this. Sorry, I wasn't thinking about that before. But we need it because we need to know what properties have changed. Did I not get it? Looks like I hit copy. Okay, offset X. Okay, PD. It might be faster to just duplicate this. Go from offset X to offset Y. If I can just hit it, not the colon. There we go. And duplicate this one as well.
Coding Gorilla makes an interesting point. You are giving up your default settings by doing this.
No, I'm not. I'm going to put them right. I'm going to get them in right here.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So scale X and Y. We're going to do those. Everything else is 0. So I'm giving that up, but we'll fix that. I guess what I shouldn't have argued and said, no, I'm not. What I should have said is thank you. You're right. We should go fix that. Okay, just a couple more. PD here. Scale X. PD scale Y. What's my problem here? Oh, because they were already declared. Okay. And then file name as well. PS. Okay? All right. Holy cow. All right, we did that. So now we've got our properties here. I notify property change is implemented here. The last kind of connecting piece that I think we need to do is, or do we need to do it or maybe not? I'm thinking about when we create, right here. I'm thinking about saying layer details dot, let's look for just events, property changed, plus equals, And then we're going to say property changed. Invoke. And we're going to say this, comma, new property. No, I'm just going to pass them straight out. Not going to create anything new. Okay. So there is our property changed in here. And I don't know, does it make sense to actually call it as well when we add? I think it does. Like that. So on property changed. And then so when we call add, I'm going to go ahead and throw that out at there as well, I think. There's a lot of noise coming in as we first create things. A lot of events are going to be fired. I'm not too worried about it from a performance standpoint. But I want to make sure we reset all the is dirty flags, that sort of thing. Okay, that. Yeah, we have that. Do we have a clear as well? There's the clear. So the clear we're going to call it. And there's something I lost. I just had it in my head. I was like, oh, this is the important next thing I need to work on. Is dirty is what I want. So I want to create a property of type Boolean. Call it is dirty, meaning it needs saving. And oh, because it needs the args right here on property changed. Wow, look what CodeRush did. CodeRush added this code for me. Normally it gives me this. But it saw that on property change didn't have the caller member name attribute in it. And so it said, well, I'll build this instead for you. That was pretty smart.
Yeah.
All right. Janisku's playing with the... what's going on with... Why are those things disappearing? All right. Let's see what we're doing. How are you doing, Roy? Can you see the code very well with all of the game elements?
Kind of.
Let me know if you need me to move the scroll around a little bit so that you can see that. I can also come in here and just say I can do the magic dock like that. And then we just have these over here. So you have to get somebody to go fly into those. If only Surly Deb were here. I don't think I've ever said that before.
Are you feeling all right, Mark?
Okay, so we've got an is dirty. If I don't think I want to change this. I actually think I don't want to call this here. I want this to just be a flag, and we're going to set it internally. We're going to set it here. Okay, so when we get a property change call from the clear or the add or one of the individual details properties have changed, we're going to set dirty to false on that. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. I want to put it back. So we're going to do that. But down here, So we set it to true or set it to false. So we set it to false. That's going to trigger the event. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. It's this. I want to set it's dirty to true unless e dot property name equals is dirty. That's what I want to do. So if we're setting is dirty to true or to false, like we've just saved, I don't want it to come back and turn and set it to true again.
Indeed. Yeah,
That's what that code is doing right there. Yeah. It would be. Okay. In fact, you could categorize every mistake I've ever made on this show as that would be counterproductive, wouldn't it, Mark? Just use the name of is dirty instead. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Oh, good point.
You're right.
Good
You're
call.
right. Do I have a refactoring in here? There it is.
Yep.
Thanks, Code Rush. Okay, cool. Cool. Just clean up some of these markers. I think we can run again. I'm hoping I have breakpoints in the right spots, but I'm thinking I have no breakpoints now. What is this? I'm hovering, I'm not seeing it. It's light string property name. Why did it get the paren in front of it? Something is the assignments. Let's come down here. Let's kind of back our way out of this. What's my open paren position? It was 4. The layer detail, hold on. Layer detail. Layer name is vein. Oh, it didn't get it.
Is this big? Oh no.
Well,
I was going to say, is there anything in here that we're doing sort of presumption of location and then trimming afterwards?
No, it's that what I just changed right there. I was using a different string. I was using layer mod string,
Okay.
and I want to use layer detail. So let's set the next statement up here. Try it again. So there. Now we get a correct layer name. Now we get the correct insides. Now we split those.
Mhm.
And now instead of having that paren, we have these we need. All right, cool. So there's
Looking
that. All right, yeah, looking good. On property changed. All right, I'm going to keep running. All right. So we're here. Uh-oh. LB card layers. Okay, I'm going to run past this for now. This gems is selected. Let's select a different one. Okay. So this, my understanding of what's inside, if I'm remembering this all correctly, there's some complexity here, kids. But my understanding is card layers, its item source, it's not quite the same. Okay. So it's card layers, which is a card image layer, which is going to have, oh, it's got the details. These details are the details that are coming from the active card. Sweet.
Okay.
So what we need is to go get if send, wait, what is it? It's the selection change. So we need to basically go in and say if LB card layers dot selected item is layer, what was it? Card layer. Card image layer. Maybe I'll say, maybe I'll do a not of that. Okay, then we're going to get out. Otherwise, we've got the card image layer here, and that's got the details. That's the data context that we want to set.
Sure.
Let's first come down here, run that. Yep, we don't go there. All right, so now we got to go find the data context where we want to apply that. So now let's go over into the XAML. Yeah, it's funny. I was trying to envision this last night while I was going to sleep, and I was having some trouble, Rory. And now that I see how complex it is, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's why I was having some trouble.
Possibly you're excused.
Well, I got an excuse. I'll take that. All right, so in here, a little hard to see without the visual. These are the layers right here. Okay, here's where we start getting into things where you want to change. And we don't have any bindings yet. Okay, the canvas layer is here. And then we get into, here's a slider for offset X. So, yeah, there's actually a number of these, and they're not all grouped by a single parent. And the reason they're not is because of their positioning in the grid. There's just no way to panel group all of these together. So what I want to do is I want to come in here and I want to say slider X dot data context is equal to details. Like that. And I want to do the same for slider offset Y. And I want to do the same for where are you? Slider horizontal stretch. Slider vertical stretch. And slider hue. Getting close. Slider hue. Slider, I think, lightness. I have a contrast in here. And I think I have a saturation as well. So I'm setting all of these individually. These last four can be grouped. But maybe I'll just do that the way it is. I'm going to do that. All right, so let's run it. And now I want to set up some data binding on this, on the values. So what I want to do is I want to set up a min and a max value on this. So for hue, the min is 0 and the max is 360. And the value is going to be 0, but we're going to do binding. And the binding we're going to take this to is going to be to hue. Like that. Let's just try only one and just getting that to work. So yeah, check it out. Nice. Look at this. Already it's working. Do you see the hue shifting position?
I do.
So let me put FLAC over here, come down over here to veins. FLAC goes back to where it was. Gems was here. So we can kind of do these incrementally to kind of prove as we go down here. This is working. Sweet. That's
nice.
Really awesome. So no, let's also check though. Let's go over here and say frost toad hue switch to like all the way to the right. Then come back up over here and gems. Yeah, these are all here. Oh my gosh, Rory.
That's nice, isn't it? Because it proves that bidirectional link between the slider setting the value on an object in the correct property, in the correct depth and layer and everything else, and then you switch card entirely, go and mess around with some of the other pieces, and then when you come back, it proves that data comes back out, sets the slider into the correct position. It's so much easier this way. You imagine the amount of code you'd have to write if you didn't have WPF and that two-way binding.
Yeah. So what happens when I do this? Now, one problem, there's no alert that we're dirty, that we've changed. I want to fix that first. And I think the fix is in card. All layers. We need in our constructor somewhere. property changed. And I think I'm going to call base from here. Like that. So that's going to get this hookup. And now all I want to do here is I want to say, hey, look, if all layers dot is dirty, then we're going to set our is dirty to true. That's what we're going to do. I think that's going to fix it. Let's run it and test. Then we'll set up the rest of the data context. Then we're at a point where we're actually going to start modifying the images when we adjust the hue. So we're almost there. Also, I've got this weird bug where the first deck is showing up as dirty, and I'm not sure why. I need to figure that out. Also, look at this. The first one here showing up as dirty.
Same thing now.
Yeah.
Actually, the second deck, you haven't changed anything. It is now dirty as well.
Yeah. Yeah. This one showed up dirty, which means its parent shows up dirty. But, so let's come in and save. And now...
So does that mean that it wasn't dirty until you selected it?
Yes. The second deck wasn't dirty. Yeah, so as you're right, it's the selection that makes it dirty after a load. And I haven't quite figured that out yet. All right, let's now move this. Yeah, there we go. See it? Those showed up now as dirty. That's what we're looking for. So sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, next, saving the data back out. Because we're not doing that yet. I should have had a breakpoint, but I don't, apparently. Let's go figure that out. Create new layer mods. Wait. Layer mods. Layer mod stir. I just realized one other thing we need.
What's that?
We need a flag.
More Surly Dev.
Surly Dev is in the house.
Hey Surly, how you doing, man?
All right, how you doing? Layers are dirty. We need this. I'm going to kill everything for a second here to clear this. We need this. Layers are dirty means there's a change that's occurred to one of our layer setting options. If that is the case, all right, that's what we're going to do. So layers are dirty. If they're dirty, we're going to create the layer mod and then set dirty to false.
Oscar.
It's the end of Oscar, kids. Moment of silence. Okay. So if that's the case, then now we should get this breakpoint here to create layer mods. That's our last step, to take the object list and turn it into the string so we can save it out. Mark's voice programmer has changed the planet to the sun. That increases our gravity.
It does. Quite substantially.
When you're throwing out... Yep, there you go. Dropping pretty fast. Changing the music up here a little bit. Okay, yep, there's the click, and it, for some reason we're getting the is dirty. We should track that down. Because that's going to distract us. All right, so we're going to come in here cast light. We're going to set hue here. I'm just going to kind of stack these out. Whoops, I don't have any data context on these. I should have the data context now. So we've got those all working. Values binding hue. So I'm going to use a CodeVerse feature called Super Mega Paste. I'm going to first copy that right there to the clipboard with the using multi-select to mark just hue. And then we'll come down here and paste it in here. And then we're going to call it that sat, I think was what we called it. And this one down here is light. So see how cool that is? I can just come in there, do a quick paste and change only the piece I want. Like that. So we've got those 3. Vertical stretch. The value is equal to scale Y, I think is what we're calling that. And horizontal stretch. Is equal to scale X. And then we've got the offset. Y is here. And then finally, we have offset X right here. Okay, that should be offset X. Let's see if all those stick. If they stick, that means I got the property names right. So we'll come up here, we'll go like this, and this, and that, and that, and this, and this, and this, and then we'll click over here, and come back. They all stick.
They look good.
Okay, cool. Now let's save. Should get that breakpoint. Why not? Why didn't we get the breakpoint? It's a little disappointing. Really expecting to see something here. Just make sure I got the text correct, the name right. Looks like I did. Layers are dirty. Let's go say where we're setting that. Okay. Let's make one more change. Okay, all layers are dirty. Good. Now let's do a save again. Oh, I know what it is. I know what the problem is.
Yeah.
The problem is yeah, let's get the breakpoint again. Okay, the problem is we need to call onPropertyChanged, passing in layer mods. The string, that's the property name of the string that represents all of these layers. If we do that, that will then mark so this marks the card as dirty, but we actually don't even need to really do this, because this in effect should now mark, see right there, it marks the card as dirty, right?
Gotcha.
This is actually coming up from track property changes, but still it'll mark the card as dirty, and it'll mark the property. More importantly, it marks the property as changed. With the property marked as changed, when we go to save it, the Google Sheets helper will say, oh, let's save the property out. But it's intentionally skipping it because it thinks the property has not been changed. I think that's all I need to do. It's a real simple change. But now, when I save, we should see the breakpoint. There we go. Okay, cool.
There we are.
So we call create layer mods. We're in here. Now we got to do something. Okay. So now we got to go through all our layers. 7. So I think I'm going to build it here. Result is equal to string.empty. I'll just use the layer modster. Well, oh, I see what's going on. I'm returning it. That's fine. So we'll say result is equal to stir.empty.
Yep.
Then I'm going to go do a for each in this. For each in the, what's the property? Details. All right, for each layer detail in there, then I'm going to say, layer details stir is equal to get layer details stir. I'm going to pass in just that guy, or maybe a better approach would be to, for that, call it get stir. Let's go build that. Now we're out here, and we're going to say properties, property change list. And then we're going to say get property assignment if changed. I think like this. I altered the delay on the seed command. I don't know which is worse. Rapid fire at 250 milliseconds. Between each one, 750 milliseconds. What version of C# are we using? I think we're in 8. That's what I think. Add assignment if changed, and I'm going to pass this in, and then I want to pass in.
Okay, Mark, I'm not sure I'm correct on this, but you're trying to get a string that represents the whole of everything, not just the bits that have changed. Is that not right?
Yep. I'm looking right now for this. I'm going to get a bunch of these, and if they exist, I'll comma separate them. But if there's nothing there, I want it empty, because I basically need to decide if it's different.
So it's not so much, it's if changed from default, I guess is what you mean.
Yes.
So i.e. being 0. Right, okay. Not just things we happen to have changed since we last loaded.
Yes. Default. So get property assignment if not default. And so we're going to pass in the property change list. That's what we're going to modify. And we're going to...
Dude, check out the chat room.
Any reason you're not using name of layer mods instead of magic string? Oh, absolutely. I should be doing that. I didn't see where I was using that.
Where was that? Yeah. No, absolutely right. We should be doing that.
Let's go see if I can find that. That's it.
There we go. Good call, Apoc Dev.
Thank you so much. Boom. That was awesome.
He's awesome.
I said he's awesome. I don't know, Apoc Dev. Could be.
He's awesome.
Could be also just to be totally inclusive.
They're awesome.
All right. Let's get back over here. Okay. Get property assignment not default. Property assignment if not default, if different. I know I'm struggling with the name here, kids. If it's different, so I'm going to pass the property change list in. I'm going to pass in the value of angle, and then I'm going to pass in 0, which is the default here. And let's declare that. And are we running in a breakpoint? I'm going to kill this because I want to create some overloads. And I believe I can't create overloads while I'm in an edit and continue piece right here. So this is going to be... Do I have the ability I don't think so. Hold on. Let's put this here. So this becomes that. And then we need a one more here. So now the code in here is going to look like this. If, sorry, this should be value. So if value equals default value, then we're going to say return string.empty.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say. Convert that to a function. Okay, this is going to come down here. And we're going to call this property assignment. Like that. Then we're going to say no, I don't need to do that actually. I don't need to do this. We're just going to return. I'm going to modify this. Okay, looking more like that. And maybe call this add property assignment. Looks like I'm missing something. Default value is equal to 0. Okay, next I'm going to create one of these for doubles. By marking those two things I want to change. Oops, I actually don't want to do that just yet. Hold on. I want to return, I want to modify change property change list. So I'm going to say property change list plus equals. I'm going to throw a comma at the beginning of it. So if it's got something already, I'm going to just add this to it. And then I'm going to come down here and say property change list plus equals. And then we're going to say prop name. Actually, I want to do this. Equals assignment. Value, I mean, equals value. Okay, so
Yep.
that is that one. How are you doing on time, by the way, Roy? I feel like you gotta go.
I've got a little less than 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll probably get this writing out there before you leave. I really appreciate you being here, by the way, Roy.
That's fine, man. Yeah.
It is.
It's nice to see this getting fleshed out. And for those who aren't sort of sure about why the reflection, it is that extensibility. It is after we've got this right, after we've got the notified changes working and everything else is sort of cascading, you're just going to be able to add a property to that class and just have it picked up and dealt with in sort of all the appropriate ways.
I wonder if I can do this. I wonder if I can make this generic for certain types of T. Everything works but here. Is there an equals call I can do? Is that going to work? Let's see if that works. And then, so default value is equal to, can I do this? Default of T? How sweet would that be? And then I only write it once. And so now I'm going to come in here and say int for that. And then I'm going to come down here and make this double. Do I not even need it for doubles? Is it going to figure it all out? Wouldn't that be sweet? This is going to be like,
if you're gonna, if your value is implicitly that thing, I don't think you need to tell it.
sweet. Look at that. How awesome is
Nice.
that, kids? All right, so scale X, scale Y.
Apparently, APOC Dev says you don't even need the brackets T in default. The parenthesis. So I think that's in the signature of the preceding method.
Oh, let me check that. Hold on a second. Offset. Let's go look at that. You're right. Just like that. Oh my God, is C# so beautiful?
It is nice.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. APOC dev, thank you. Compiler will determine the correct type implicitly. You know what? I think that calls for, in honor of APOC dev. I think it calls for. That's in honor of APOC dev. Thank you so much. There's like,
there are precious few honors around here, but that's definitely one of them.
That's one of them. There you go. There's my offset X and offset, whoops, X right there. And I got hue, right? Hue. And this is just going to be hue. And that's going to go to light. And going to go to sat. And it's going to go to contrast. Like that. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. All right, now we're at this point and we're like, hey, if that thing is null or white space, we're out. We're just going to say RSC for return string.empty right there. If string.is null or white space, the property changeless. Otherwise, we're going to say return. And we need to get our interpolated string. What is going on? I think I duplicated that unintentionally. Okay. And we want to return, we're going to have a property changeless. We're going to have a paren there, and we're going to have our layer name, is what it's called, right here. Is that right? Yeah. I don't know how, is the uppercase one not available? I feel like it was. Yeah, there it is, right there. Use string builder if you're concatenating a lot like that. I know, it just feels like it's overkill in code to go with the string builder. You know. Also, I want to see it, but I'm like, I guess, how quickly could I change this to a string builder? Result. Like that. I'll just do this. I'll do this. There we go. We'll get rid of that. Property change list. This is going to be now, instead of a ref, it's going to be just a, like that. String builder coming in. Kill that. Now I want to check to see, what do I got in string builder? This is equivalent to is null or empty. Length is greater than 0. Then we got to do, what is it, string builder.append. And then another .append call here. Okay, that wasn't too bad. All right. Then we want to come down here and say, hey, if this is .length is equal to 0. All right. Aren't the benefits of string builder if you were constantly building and rebuilding and concatenating strings a lot in a loop? Well, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, when you add a string to another string, you're allocating yet another string in the process, right? You do it all manually. So you do this a lot in a tight loop. You're just throwing strings, and the garbage collector's got these very short-lived objects. It's suddenly getting rid of loads of them. If you use a string builder instead, all of that's kind of taken care of internally. It's a lot more efficient, but it does depend on the sheer number of operations you're doing as to whether it's actually going to cause you grief, and indeed how fast you need it to react to that.
So I'm doing it here too, creating string builder here. Now I want to come in here and say, if result.length is greater than 0, then I want to say result.append, and we're going to come in here and say semicolon now and a space. That'll separate those pieces. I also want to come in here and say, hey, if this dot string length is greater than 0, then we're going to come in here. This returns an empty string no matter what, I think. I mean, it's not going to give it return null ever, right? It's like that. That's what it's going to do. It's going to be one of those two. Okay. To do. Consider using reflection to iterate these public properties. Okay. All right, if length is greater than 0, then we're going to append, and we're also going to, oh no, we'll just do that. And then we're going to come down here and say result dot append the layer detail string. Okay?
Yep.
Then I think we're going to at the end, then we need to return it. We're just returning it because we're setting it out there. We'll say return result dot toString. Okay, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sully and Apoc Dev are talking about if it's almost always beneficial to use string builder. You know, in this scenario, we're talking about UI time with 10 values. So the benefits aren't really as much from a perception standpoint as they are from a just practice standpoint, right? We're just practicing going through it, that sort of thing. There's the results of that. I think that's going to work. That's what I think. Let's run it and see what happens.
Let's do that.
String Builder can actually be less efficient for smaller operations, says Coding Gorilla. But if it's smaller, then it doesn't matter if it's less efficient, really, I think. I would make that argument as well. Okay, so here we go. Make a change. Come in here and say save. Okay, and we've got the layers are dirty. There's our mod string. We're coming in here. Going to the details. Oh, look at that. We got gems. Scaled. Mm-hmm. Whoa. Scale X and Y are wrong on that. I have the wrong default there.
Okay.
Okay. Just gonna know I'm passing in. I feel like I should do a that to let it know it's a double I'm passing in, just so there's no confusion. Just 7 for the cut. Going down here. Result is empty. All right, let's do another one. Saturation, throw it all the way to the right. Do a save. Their mod string, there we go. Saturation is 10. On this one, I'm not sure if it was one I just modified or not.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like that was it. So let's move it halfway across and save. We should see it coming in at about a 5, I suppose. Saturation is 4.8.
Looks good.
I think these numbers are too long. Right, from the standpoint of saving.
Yeah, I mean, we really don't care for that many decimal places, do we?
Yeah, there it is right there. So you can see we've made those changes there. We made changes to the gems layer, the veins layer. Let's go grab the placeholder. Let's do a vertical stretch and a horizontal stretch. Nothing's happening here in Image Editor yet. And let's increase contrast and save. And we should see, there it is right there. Placeholder has now been modified. Right there.
Cool.
I guess I'm okay with the extra numbers. I'm okay with that.
The only thing is, if you want to come in here and do diagnostics, you're sort of trying to parse a lot more information from within Google Sheets.
Visually,
when we're looking from within
right.
the application, it's not so bad because, as you say, it's just a slider.
Yeah.
So,
It's cool.
pluses and minuses.
Let's go to Infinity Stones. You got to go?
I got to go, Mark. Yeah, that time of the day again. But I will be back tomorrow. I will join you again.
Appreciate it. We'll
I
be
look forward to it.
wrapping it up. All right, buddy. See you.
Okay, bud. See you soon.
Bye. Yeah, looking good. I've misspelled plaque there. We'll need to fix that because, OCD. Let's go fix that now. That's in, I think I'm in Infinite Stones. There it is right there. And let's close the app down. Okay. I'm glad Rory was here to help us out. He's totally awesome. There you go, getting the party in before he leaves, says Surly Dev. Next, we need to change the images based on the changes we're making to these layer properties. Let's go look at the XAML. So any given image that's here in the canvas has got its X and Y offset. So one of the things we have to deal with is its position in the canvas as we adjust the X and Y offset. Let's also look and see, let's look at the code. How are we adding these in? Add layers to canvas. Here's how we're adding those layers. That's in the card layer manager. Okay. I think we need a notification when something has changed so we can come back and modify it, or we need to do data binding to connect it up directly. Oh my gosh, I think we need to do data binding in the code. Is what I think we need to do for the X and Y positioning. Do those offsets. No, actually we don't. We have to move them. Because there's a no, wait, we can do it. We can do data binding here, I think, in the code. Hold on a second. So a card image layer has got the details and it's got the X and Y. The actual position that it needs to be in is the X plus offset X and the Y plus offset Y. So I kind of think I need a property here to bind these two is what I think I need. Playing with a couple ideas. Let's change this to double and this one to a double as well. Cause any problems? I think that's good. Let's change this to double. Okay. Oh yeah, the details. The active card has an event handler on all layers, right here, which is hooked up. I think my layers, all properties changed event. Oh, interesting. We're in a different place here. Hold on. I think I may want this to be a different event kind. Calling add color. It's only called from there. Okay, let me privatize that. Layer details, property change. So here's what I'm thinking. I think that this, actually, you know what? I want to report a code rush thing here because I'm seeing something that I want to change here. So kids, I'm looking at a tab to next reference on property changed here. This is property changed in all layers. If I hit the tab key here, it finds it in all layers. It finds it still in all layers, layer details. We did it. Oh, and then it comes over here to mod builder. This is a completely different event with the same name in like a completely different DLL, different project. So I'm trying to figure that one out. Now I'm over in an effect builder, another event declared with the same name. Granted, it's the same type, but it's in a different class. It shouldn't, tab index reference should not find it. If I were to hit escape and get back and hit F2 to rename and just hit the tab key here it should find only, oh no, are you kidding me? It's a Visual Studio bug? Oh, I know why. It's not a Visual Studio bug. It's because it's iNotify property changed. it sees this as coming, it's the name of that property coming from that event. I see. Okay, maybe I will not report that. Okay, whoa, we got something new though. Check this out. I just hit escape twice real fast, and we get this. I'll get you the log file here. Oh, yeah, looks like code rush right there. Specified argument was outside the range of valid values. Parameter name span. Not sure what's going on there. Hopefully, all right, we'll report that one instead. Okay, let's close down that rename. I wonder if it's because I had the rename active. Now look at this, Visual Studio is feeling like it's not responding. Look at that. So I implemented a rename on iNotify property change and Visual Studio just crashed. Holy cow. All right. Let's get that issue reported. Good thing I was right in the middle of reporting that issue. Let's start up Visual Studio a second time here. VS crashed. Look at the log file. Activity log.xaml. Let me pop that into the chat room. Thanks for bearing with us, everybody. You're dogfooding Code Rush every time we're out here streaming. Okay, so I just want to find only the event handlers for. There, it's all layers, isn't it? I wanted to find only the event handlers here. I think the way I can do it is I can trick it in by doing this, doing that, and now it should find only the ones doing this. There it is right there. That's the one I wanted to find. Okay, cool. So property changed. I'm thinking about a feature request as well, which is a more constrained tab to next reference. I think I'm going to do it. Let's record that as well. All right, devs, I want a more constrained tab to next reference. That's what I'm looking for. So right now, tab to next reference will find all references, right? But I'm on this property changed. That's an implementation of iNotify. Let me close this down. Look at that. There's that comment section again. Just got that. What's happening now? Code Rush 1 still there? No. Shoot, did we lose the log file, or is this a different log file? Hopefully this is a different log file, but I have a feeling it's not. Unable to load this. Okay. All right. At any rate, so I want a constrained version of the. Looks like there's. Oh, here it's going to crash again. Closing this down. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's a second version of the crash. Different activity log out there. Now, in fairness, I will say I've got an interim build of Code Rush on here with some new testing, some new features that I need to test and work on. So it could be that. It may not be Visual Studio that's causing these issues. And the good thing is we'll send the devs all the details here. Looks like Code Rush is not loaded yet. Just waiting. Says it's there. It's just, I think it's just waiting for the project to load. Yeah, there we go. So it stays away from the load on it. All right, sorry about this. Okay, devs. So there's the crash, obviously, we want to look at, but there's also this idea of a tab to next reference, and I want it to be more constrained. And so the example that I give is in all layers over here in the source code of the CardMaker project. And if I have this here where I'm implementing iNotify property changed, and I come in here and I hit the tab key, it's going to take me to every single every single property of type property changed event handler in classes that implement iNotify property change. And database 3 or database is now following. Thank you for the follow. And so that may be good. But there may be also times where I wanted to see only just this individual property in this individual class. And I'm not exactly sure how we do that, what the UI for that is. But I kind of feel like I think I want to say get back to me and I'll spec out a UI for this. But I want to be able to change the level of the scope of the tap to next reference to only instances on this particular type, for example, all instances, all implementers of it, that sort of thing. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so let me just quickly get that out. And plus tab to next reference spec. Yeah. Constraint spec. Let's put that in the chat room. Database said, I thought C# died. It was not C#. It died. Okay. All right, let's see if I can get my focus back here and return to writing code. So yeah, we found over in Card is hooking that event. That's the line right there. So this is the only listener outside of this class of this event. This is on layer details, not on this one. I think I want to create a new property changed event on this thing, is what I want to do. I have an idea. An idea that simplifies all of this. I want to come in here and say, let's do this. Can we do this? Oh man. No, I'm thinking no, it's... Yeah, we can't do this. All right. No. I thought it because I was thinking we would set up properties here in Card and bind those properties to the active image, but the problem is once we select a different layer, then we need to unbind these, and so that's not going to work either. There's something we need to do. We need to hook in here somewhere. I feel like I'm close, but it's like elusive in terms of figuring this out. Let's go back over to the XAML a second and take a look at. Or actually, it's not the XAML. It's in the code behind here. It's where we create the images. Here, add layers to canvas. All right, I think it goes to do data binding goes here. All right, this feels good. This also means that in card image layer, we're going to need to create that new property. And do I make this? Okay. We're going to call this X right here. And the getter on this is going to be start X plus details dot offset X. I feel like there's no setter on this. And there's an interesting option I wanted to take a look at. I hadn't seen that before. Limit interface through details. What changes? Okay, I'm cool with that. So the start will be whatever we get from the file, which is normally going to be 00, or some other kind of specified offset. So the file layer, that's specified in right in here in the file name itself. Excuse me. Okay. So now when the offset changes, this property changed is going to be fired off. This event will be triggered. Somebody can listen to that as well. I don't need this right here. Now we can bind to it. Now we can assign this card image layer in the data binding, which is not going to be here. I think it's down in here, right? Right here, data binding goes here. The data context, we need to set up the context to it. I think that's all we do is we set the context to it. So we're going to say create image dot data context. Uh-oh. Why can't I set the, oh, it's because it's UI element? Wait. Let's do this. All right, it's an image. Let's do this. Now, let's see if we can do it. Image.data context is equal to layer. I think just layer.
Exactly.
I think that's it. And then we need okay. Hold on. We need to set the X and Y. We need to set the X and Y of the attached property for the canvas to the X and Y of the layer.
Who's in the house?
Hey Jetsam, how you doing? I hear a very quiet roaring. I don't think so. All right. Hey Jetsam, how you doing? Okay. So we want to ask the questions. Hey, C#, WPF, binding to an attached property in code. That's not quite what I want. See if this works. Is that the attached property though? From the attached property. Let's paste that code in and see what it looks like. Source is the adorned element. I'm pretty sure that's the image. Now, how do I set the binding to the... Looks like I need something like this line, maybe. Needs a dependency property. All right, let's create a dependency property instead. Okay, so these two need to be dependency properties, I think. Nope, I can't create dependency properties because I'm not descending from a dependency object, I think. Let's see if I can do it now. Okay, there we go. This name of this property is going to be X. And the type is going to be oh, I see what's going on. Hold on, let me just back up a second on this. Do it again. All right. X, type of double. Okay. This also means that I need to update X whenever we get a change event in details. So I think I want to listen to the event here. And when that occurs, I want to come in and I want to say X is equal to start X plus details dot offset X. And maybe also to some degree say, hey, if this dot property name is equal to offset X, we're going to do that. Maybe do a name of details dot offset X. Then we're going to do that. And then if it's Y, then we're going to do that. And that may be all we need to do. I want to set a breakpoint here and make sure this is working like I'm imagining and thinking it's working. Let's duplicate this and make it Y. Let's go into X property. We'll duplicate that. We've got Y property. Coverage is changing it for us. It's figuring out what I want, I guess. And there's so much complexity. I'm barely able to hold on to this and do it. Okay, so now we've got the X and Y dependency properties. Back to the binding. Here's my binding. Was it here? Here, I think it was. Where's my binding? Not there. Not there. Is it here? Not there. There it is, right there. Okay. So now we want a dependency property here. So now we're going to come in here and get what is it? Card image layer. Am I getting that correctly? .x property. All right, there's my binding to the canvas left. And the binding is the instance, which is the image, I think. I think that's going to do it. That's going to give me a left. And I think this is going to bind to the top. this source wrong? This source, I think it should be in layer. I think that is wrong. I think we do source here. No, it's layer here. The word target here, the binding target of the binding. Yeah, I think one of these has got to be layer and one's got to be image, and I'm not sure which is which. Let's maybe try just with this and see if that works before we start creating one for top and all the other properties. Oh man. Set a breakpoint here. All right, so I'm in the breakpoint, creating the image. I want to change these to X. All right, well, we've got a binding. So the code executed. Placeholder's up here in a bizarre place. I think that's because of the other change I made though. Let's go in here and see what I can do here. Nothing's happening when I adjust the X offset. Did I assign? Its value is bound to offset X. All right, let me just try a binary toggle of the code here and see if we have any different results if we go here instead. I want to go to also layer.createImage here. And I want to say here that X is equal to start X plus offset X. Do the same for Y there. That was, I think, why the other image showed up in the wrong place. Okay, so now placeholder's in the right spot. No change with the X offset here, though. Let's see if we can track, just get a little detail in that. I may leave this for the, that may be the last thing I try to do here today. Let's go look at our property changed. Set a breakpoint here. Okay, good. So we are coming in here. And there's our X. Similarly, the Y is done there. Okay, with the Y, the X and Y, so those are being changed. X and Y are dependency properties. So that X and Y property should be changing, should be modifying the left, it should be modifying the image's position relative to the canvas, because those are changing. This code looks kind of correct. The only thing I'm not sure about is this source versus what's the target right here. The source of the binding versus the target. I almost want to switch these as well. Let's try this a second. If I was going to write this code, I would say that my binding, the target is the piece of this property I want to change. So I'm going to say that's image in this scenario. Do I want to change? I want to change its left property in the canvas. It's kind of what I want to do. I think I'd try that. But the only one that kind of makes sense. It still might work. Whoa! There we go. All right, sweet. Okay, so we did that. Does that mean this works too? The Y doesn't, because we didn't hook that up. Let's hook up those others real quickly here. Okay. So left is going to become the top binding. That's going to be a Y property. Top property. That looks correct. Let's do that one. Okay, so we can grab the veins. All right, we can move them. They're kind of going the wrong way. This one's going right. The Y one has just got to swap those values there. Let's maybe do that now. The Y offset. That's the slider for the Y. Here, minimum's going to be, can I do that? Can I make the maximum less than the minimum? I hope I can. Nope. Is there a way to reverse it? Style. No. WPF slider, reverse, values, is direction reversed. True. All right, now let's see it. So now when we move down, it goes down, and when we go up, it goes up. And right about the middle is where it should line up. I just need to have a reset button here to reset both of these values, but that's pretty cool. That means I can adjust all of these. These aren't a big deal now, but we're going to be adding features that we can actually move and adjust. So very cool. All right, good. We figured that part out. I'm going to end the show right there. With the ability to do these things, we'll hook the rest of this stuff up likely tomorrow. And that's it. And so let's do that. Let's get a raid going. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us today. We'll send you over to Bald Bearded Builder. Go say hi. Have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much everybody for your help.